Hello, my name is Gary Schotten. I'm sitting here in my machine shop. This section right here is more of an assembly area. Most of the shop is high dollar, very close tolerance machines that make metal parts, but we actually take some of the parts and make them into a finished good that's then sold to the customer. So I'm happy to be with you. I hope that these videos are of help to you because we want to inspire better business. I'm going to talk about today something that just kind of keeps reoccurring over my 45 years of being in the business world. Sometime for the first 10 years working for somebody else, and the last 40 years really working for myself. And so just one thing that just keeps cropping up that I think would help you. And it's the idea that sometimes good presents itself, but you need to be patient enough to wait for great. And I'm not going to go into a whole lot of spiritual discussions. I could go there for a while, but it does have some spiritual connotation with God's guidance and direction and provisions. But it's still like a law. It's like gravity. You can use gravity to help you, or you can use gravity to hurt you, or even kill you. So you can use this law, I think, for your good. Now, let me give some examples. This is some 30 years ago. I was had this very small fledgling beginning of a trucking company. I actually started with a borrowed trailer pulled behind my car, and then the next truck I bought, I paid cash, was like $1,000, and then I was up to another truck that was $2,000. These were not good trucks, I will tell you. But they were good trucks for what I needed at the time. They were not new trucks. But it came to a point that I needed some better trucks. And man, I was so desperate that I finally found some halfway good truck. It was over in a city about an hour and a half from me. And I found this truck and I said, man, this is probably all I'm going to find. It was a good sort of truck, but I about bought. And then I waited just a few more days, and here came great. I'm saying sometimes great follows just a few days after good, or a few weeks after good. There's no time frame on this. So I was so glad that I didn't buy this good truck and I got a great truck. Same thing happened a few years later when I needed these large trailers. And these are trailers, again, for the moving industry, and they're very kind of unique as a trailer. And I actually was considering taking an airplane and flying about 6 hours from here and go buy a truck. And it was just good. It wasn't great. It was mediocre to good. And then, boy, just a couple days later, I'm so glad I didn't take that, because here come 10 trucks. I bought 10. I actually ended up with 11 trailers. These are just the trailers. These are the big semi-trailers for the same price it would have cost me to buy one brand new trailer. And these new trailers I had were already painted to match what I needed them painted. The paint job was worth as much as the trailer was itself. I waited for good to come to great. I have all kinds of situations, and I just finished talking to a friend of mine, and he was just talking about a particular specific business that he's showing an interest in. Now, it's just a very targeted business. I won't go into detail, but he just shared with me that there was no way that he could have gotten an appointment to talk with the leading expert in his field, but it opened up. He had done his homework. He was in position to move from good to the very best, the best possible person that could have shared 8 hours of information for him on his journey towards this possible new business. Here's the 2 tips that I have. Number 1, you got to do your research. This good to great doesn't come on you if you don't know what great looks like. You've got to do your homework. You've got to know the kinds of trucks, the kinds of cameras, whatever you're into. With this day and age, with the internet, there is absolutely no excuse. Knowledge is so available to you that you can know about things. You don't have to be the pilot on an airplane. You don't have to be the truck driver to own a truck, but you can know about them in many ways. You can do research. You can research in your local area. I was just talking about this to someone that, hey, in this one particular field, you should see what the market is in your metro area now, but go to another area close by or another city next by and investigate. This is time so well spent. You cannot ask enough questions. You can always ask more questions. You can always learn more. Ask questions with the idea that, hey, I've got an idea. I've got my feasibility plans coming about. I have an approach. I'm not worried about asking a question that would redirect and change my plan, so I'm going to ask a lot of questions. So, number one, do your research. Now, here's the tough one. Pause and wait. This is one of these keys that life has to have, that I try not to let emotion move and direct my life. I'm not an emotional person that I cry a lot. Yeah, I'm a happy guy. I'm a happy person. Yeah, I lose my cool. I don't yell a lot. I don't cuss. But I can make my point real clear when I'm not real happy. People know that. But I'm also not moved. I've learned that even in those times, I better sleep on it. I better wait a while. I'm not going to throw an email off haphazardly and make somebody mad. I read an email yesterday that somebody was about to send. I said, nope, don't you dare send that. You're picking a fight. Don't do that. Not representing our company. Don't pick a fight. So let it cool down. Think the next morning, pause. And in some way, and I'm going to use the word God because I believe that. You don't have to believe in God, but I believe God brings you great when you're willing to pause and wait for it. It's the element of moving from the natural, the research, to the supernatural. And many things that will happen that are supernatural are not spectacular. In other words, it's never going to make the newspaper. There's nobody going to actually go, woo, how exciting. You're going to know that there's no way that could have ever happened without God's intervention and help on that matter. And so I'm going to believe that you're going to move from good to great. It's kind of like this. I'm going to take an example now of maybe taking a picture. And you're a really astute cameraman, and you're going to wait, and you want the perfect picture. And you're not just click, 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 click. You're going to wait, and to get the perfect picture at the perfect time, you've got to do your research, but you can also wait until, I'm talking about somebody, maybe people or children or animals or something like that that's moving, until you get the perfect shot. And then you take the picture. That's what you're doing. You're pausing. You're waiting until this is something just right, and you'll know it. Now, I hope this is helpful. We want you to move from making good choices to making great choices. Great choices, you can testify of the source of that. Not your wisdom, but God's wisdom is many times the difference in making a good choice on your own or making a great choice with God's help. We do these videos free of charge. I don't get any paid for the videos. None of our speakers get paid for their videos. So the only payment we're asking of you is to consider and share what's meaningful to you could be shared with someone else and be meaningful to them. Our goal is to inspire better business. Thank you for watching.